Welcome to Two Gents, where two seasoned gents take on the hard truths of life, success, and responsibility. In a world where the rules don't bend for us, these gents believe in doing the work, owning the struggle, and inspiring others to take action. So, pull up a chair.
Hey, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're coming on from. I just want to invite you in to the show tonight. I just want to let you know that I got BG on right now, and we hope that Pastor A.F. Riggins can attend. He might be taking care of a little business tonight, but tonight we got an intriguing show, and here he is, the man himself, the man of the hour. Let me see if I can get Pastor Riggins on. I had him Byron Glass, Pastor Riggins out there, but I guess you can't hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you too, Pastor. I can hear you too. We got BG on tonight. Byron can't hear us.
Byron can't hear us.
I don't know what's going on with Byron. Either he left the stage. I'm trying to add him back. But anyway, we got an intriguing show going on tonight. I need to have y'all. Byron removed himself, so I need to have y'all informed of what's going on. You know, Kamala Harris has been the vice president of this country, and she's ran for the vice president, and she was the best qualified candidate at that time. We had another show where we did it, and we established that she was the best qualified candidate, and we went behind her. You know, tonight we're doing something just a little bit different. We're gonna talk about this. We're not doing any online energy. We're not taking any negative. We're just gonna get right at smack dab in the middle of it. So, Pastor, tell me how your day is going.
Oh man, it's going okay, brother. You know what we do? We're working with a lot of students that are sometimes troubled and need some help, and my time doing that today, and kind of preparing for the show tonight. You know, I'm gonna talk about Kamala, but we also I can't blow past 2026, like I told y'all, but we're gonna work with it all. Trump just signed executive order trying to stop mail voting mail voting tonight. He just signed executive order.
Hey, Riggins.
Yeah.
Too much of anything is not good, bro.
I understand. we gotta wait 2026 though.
Hey man. Hey Rick, I'm easier, man.
I know you're messing with me, brother.
Good afternoon.
Hey, I love my brother Barry Glass.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Spikes, Mr. Riggins.
Yeah, come on in and introduce yourself.
Hey man.
My name is Byron.
Let me introduce myself. Barry Glass.
I'm just one of the gents, man, trying to do a little damage control and enlighten and inform it, man. That's what we coming for.
Yeah, he want to get smack dab in the middle. He don't want to sway left or right. He gonna tell us if we're doing right or wrong. So he done changed his role over the year because normally I'm the one. Hey, Byron. I'm looking at Byron saying,
"Hey, Rick."
Now Byron is the one toning everybody down, putting us in our place.
Hey, man, I'm just I never want to put a muzzle over a person's heart or their mind or their soul. With regards to if they decide to run. So I'm not saying, well, sometimes you got to look at it from a factual standpoint. The question is, if she did decide, with the way, people view her, is that a good thing, or should we move on, cut our losses, and, bring in some new, allow some new light to come in, some new people or whatever. So I want to listen more so than comment, but of course I will comment at a certain point in time. I want to hear from you, AF.
Oh, here, I think what's going to happen this time is if she decides to run, because I think she's gearing up for it. I've been getting some text messages, seeing some posts, and some emails. I think she's gearing up for it. However, this time she's going to be fully vetted through a primary process. And that primary process is going to be against Gavin Newsom and Mark, what's the guy out of Arizona? Mark Kelly. And those two already seem like they're in the same boat together. So if she's able to go through that gauntlet of being able to beat those guys, given what she already had said about Trump, which was all bared out in front of everybody and raising $1 billion last time. If she's able to beat those guys, whoever the Democrats put out there, will easily be able to beat whoever's on the Republican side. They're looking at Marco Rubio. Of course, they're looking at J.D. Vance. But they're going to be in shambles. The Republican Party is going to be in shambles based on how Trump is leaving. Trump tells them everything he does. So Atlantic City to Las Vegas, everything he touched is come out in shambles. Go ahead, sir.
So Ron, Mr. Spikes.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. I'm here.
My question is this. You so eloquently came out after the fact and stated that there was going to be a book. It's in the book. It's in the book. Now, based on what's in the book, does that hurt her because she did tell too many things that she should not have told? Is the book that she wrote, is that going to damage her more so than help her?
That's a two-part question, Byron, because here's the things that what you're asking. And the real reason why I say it's a two-part question, because this picture behind me with her standing with Biden, she's gonna have to answer that part because she wrote it in a book. That book told a lot of stuff that was going on behind the scenes. So she's gonna have to answer that to all of the rest of the candidates that's in the field. Even Buttigieg, if I'm saying his name right, he's gonna have to answer that question too, because he was part of the cabinet.
Mm-hmm. Pete Buttigieg. Mm-hmm.
But being more so on her, I could be wrong. I think she shared, if she knew she was going to run, I think she shared too much information prematurely, and those who are part of the establishment would basically hold that against her and look at her as being untrustworthy. That's just my take on it.
Yeah, mine, mine's go further than that, and I'm gonna repeat it again, and I'm gonna say this, and then Pastor, you got something to say, because I said this on a satellite radio program, and they kicked me off of it for saying it. I said after she lost this election, she couldn't run for governor, she couldn't run for the Senate, she couldn't go back to the Attorney General's office. The only thing that she could do was write a book. I didn't have ESP, but what was her options after she lost the election? Y'all tell me.
Well, but Biden ran 4 times before he won. Other people ran. George H.W. Bush ran the primary a couple of times before he won. So she had options to run again. She had options to run. I know what you were saying that you thought that she had ran a course, but given how bad Trump was going to mess things up, it's almost like people going to say, "Oh, you were right. Let's give you a try." Just put it all the way down when the ghost can get it, like Joe Manchin just said. Given everything she said Trump was going to do, he's done it even worse. She had that option.
I give her credit for that. She didn't have ESP, but she also, what she did, Byron Glass, was she established a precedent for her position in which she ran in. But she's gonna have a lot of laundry, and I'm glad you brought that up, because she's gonna have a lot of laundry to deal with, and she's not gonna be a clean candidate. She might not even get out of the primaries.
And that's my point. In my opinion, again, I think she shared information that was premature. I think she should have just shut her mouth, took the lick, and kept on moving. And then if she wanted to reclaim her time, she could have. Riggins, I like what you're saying, which is this time she would have to go through a full-fledged vetting process, and it's going to be a process of elimination. So if she's the last man standing, then that means that the people that had the opportunity to vote for somebody else, they chose her.
Right. That's what I'm saying. This is going to make her stronger. This will make her stronger. This is why my whole thing with last time, 2024 election, my whole thing is Biden lied. Biden said I was running for one term. In 2022, he should let them go through the whole process, and he didn't.
But Riggins, on that, I don't too much hold that against him, because if you do, that's a bar that should be to most individuals that run, because it takes more than really one term to do a lot of beneficial things. So I know what you're saying in theory, but I think he probably misspoke. But again, that's fair game, and it can be held against him. So no debate.
Yes, sir. But another thing though, Byron, he knew he was sick too.
Well, look at Trump.
Oh, but Trump is evil.
Yeah,
See,
and
Trump, nothing about Trump to me in everyday living. See, Biden in everyday living, I think he pretty straight up shooter, man. He went all his grief. He lost his wife, his daughter. He lost his other son. He's been he's tried to be on the right. Even when he was running with the racist people when he was young, he came back and asked forgiveness for that. Trump lived a life of whether he president or whether he the janitor of the school, he evil.
He's evil.
Right. So the core of Trump is evil. Right. Biden, I think, meant well. Once he got in that power, even though he was sick, he didn't know how to let go of it. He was sick, not only sick going into like dementia, but sick, like with the cancer stuff and everything. He knew he was facing a bunch of stuff that he couldn't. That's why he was running. He said, "I'm gonna run again, and I think she'll do us well." He was already telling me that if he ran again and won, he couldn't finish his term. He's going to turn over the camera.
But also, Riggins, I look at it as this. You said he was good-hearted. I think for the soul of the country, he tried to withstand and go forward because he knew that the other person was 100% more tainted than he was, even though he was sick. So that's why I think it's room for flexibility. Again, whatever individual want to choose whatever option. But I think there's some validity to that. Again, it's one thing to be well, let me just put it this way. I've never seen nobody worse than the devil. And what I mean by that, even the devil knows that he's wrong. This person that we got has never said that he's wrong. Therefore, I put him above the devil.
Yeah, so I think if Biden would have been shrewd enough and smart enough, even though he wanted for the soul of the country, he could have sat down in 2022 and said, "Listen, I know I can't make it, so I need to put Kamala up now, and anybody else that want to come against us in this party, let's put our best candidate out there to beat Trump."
So
he wasn't a good a strategy maker, is what I'm trying to say. He meant well, but he went to use the wrong strategy.
So, Pastor, let me ask you a question. Do you truly think that if Kamala was in the primaries against the machine that's out there, do you think she would have came out of the primaries if she ran like Biden did? I'm just asking.
I don't think she would have.
Who did we have at the time, though?
You had Mark Shapiro, which
Pennsylvania, baby. You got a Pennsylvania.
You had Mark Shapiro, which the Democratic Party was all over. As a matter of fact, Obama wanted him first, but he got tricked, hoodwinked into Kamala Harris. So I'm just saying he didn't. At the end, if you notice, when they first nominated, they didn't get on board. The Democratic people that's supposed to be leading the party, they didn't jump right out there and get on board. It took them a while. As a matter of fact, Kamala, at one point, Kamala wasn't for sure if they was going to get on board with her.
Let me see another question, though. Let's say that she didn't win and Mark Shapiro won. I hate to say this. She didn't win. First of all, I believe she won, but that's going to be proven over the next few years about how they cheated and took the votes. But there would have been more votes for Mark Shapiro or somebody else against Trump that he couldn't have cheated like that. It's sad to say they don't want to vote a woman in and not a black woman. That's the sad part about it. That's the reality of it all. Yeah, I would have voted for her all day long in the primary. She would have lost the primary. Mark Shapiro probably would have beat Trump. I'm just being honest.
But see, Riggins.
That's the sad part about it.
Yeah, but you remember now, do you vote because of proximity of color, or do you vote based on proximity of electability?
Well, I let me tell you what. I met in 2019. They came to Houston for the TSTA, the teachers union convention. I met the mayor of New York at the time. I met Bernie Sanders. I met Biden. I met Kamala. I was like a little runner for the people of the stage at the time for the convention. She was pretty straight. I took a picture with Biden. I took a picture of shaking her hand coming towards me. I was able to talk with Biden, talk with the mayor of New York. I believe she was electable, but then she didn't think she was electable herself and got out the race. And then Biden picked her as vice president. I think her experience that she had as vice president made her electable.
Right, but is it electable to a certain populace or electable to the majority?
Certain populace.
Right, that's what we built upon in America.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
But now you're going back to my argument with Ron last week with Jasmine Crockett and Tarico. I love Jasmine Crockett, but I know what they did because they feel like Tarico is electable, not to a certain populace, but to the majority. And that's the sad part about it.
Yeah.
That's
the same thing. It's just senatorial race, presidential race. That's what we're dealing with in America. That's the sad part about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, Ron? I'm not fighting with you, Ron. I'm just telling you that's the whole problem.
No, I'm not fighting with you. I was about to make a point. And it was related to Jasmine Crockett. I'm not going there with you tonight, Pastor, because I know where I'm at. And Byron Glass just steered you right down that hole and got you right there. So I'm not going there, Pastor. Here's where I'm at tonight. I got some more information on Jasmine Crockett, but I'm not sharing it tonight.
Look at Positive D saying. And look what Positive D saying. She's stirring the pot tonight. Look what she say.
Read it, Riggins.
Yeah.
She's not trustworthy at all. Many know this even before she read. Just because she's a black woman does not mean vote for her.
I agree with that. Which again, I think, Ron, based on what we have said, some people vote based on feelings and emotions rather than factual situations, evidence that's there to support that claim and the viability of being electable.
I agree with you. I can't disagree with you on this. Most people do vote on feelings, and they vote on
which tells us that it's not the fact that you're qualified; it's the fact that you're not the right color.
Right color, or what's the other thing? You don't have the correct anatomy to run this country.
Either.
That's what I was trying to say. Gender, but I had to say anatomy to keep from saying other things.
Now that don't apply to every person or every voter, but it applies to too many voters. We've seen all over people that were of color that were highly qualified, but for whatever reason, the question that should be asked is, what do people determine qualified for a job? Okay, I've seen it in multiple times over the last 30 plus years that somebody was 100% qualified, but yet they still didn't get the job that they were seeking.
Absolutely, I think that's one of the things that everybody should recognize. You know, when we get into this thing, it's more about can that person get elected? It's not just up to you going behind the voting booth, because they're gonna send the candidate out there that they want. They researched it, and they knew that this candidate would fall in line. They knew that this candidate would take one step behind the other one. So when they have an issue, they don't have to be concerned about this candidate, where they gonna vote, what they gonna do, or nothing like that. So Glass, I can't do nothing but agree with you. You make some pretty good points.
Riggins, with the exception of Bush 1. Who was more qualified than Hillary Clinton of the last 3 or 4 presidents? Nobody. She was decorated on all 4 corners. Still didn't get the job.
Let me say something else. Let's talk about this qualified, not qualified, color and all this, and gender. Baron Glass was asking me to run back in 2018, 2019. I didn't want to run. And I could have ran for county judge. I wasn't even paying attention. But it wasn't just, I just wasn't in my mind to run. This lady named Hidalgo, 27, 28 years old at the time, Hispanic woman. She wasn't qualified. She didn't know anything about politics. She was just very aspirational, very motivated. They saw her name in Doggo on the they was tired of that other guy. What's the other guy name?
Emmett Smith. Emmett Smith
No,
or
his
something
name
like
was
that.
no Emmett Smith, but
Emmett something.
no, his
Emmett.
last name was Emmett.
Yeah. Judge Emmett. Yeah, I remember that.
An older Anglo-American guy.
Been
And
there for
in
years.
Harris County, you got a lot of Hispanics voting, whatever. And then Doggo came in and won. But she was not even prepared. And over all the time she's been in there, she's made it harder for anybody else going to be a woman, another person of color ever run for county judge. Because she did so many silly, goofy stuff. Even though she meant well, she was just like very incompetent. And then she ended up having mental problems where they had to put her, I mean, this is public information. Seeing therapists and all this. The latest gal she did with that rodeo, she had been 4 or 5 nights in a row. Then on a sold out night, she was crying for her sweet active food. Stuff like that, just stupid stuff that she made it harder when people sneak up and be somebody of color or another gender. Like if I decide to run now, first of all, by my first name being Aquila, I sound like a woman. So I got about AF. Number 2, I'm African American. And this shit done messed it up for everybody, you know, because they're gonna try to find them a good old Anglo-American or quote unquote good old white boy to run again for that seat.
But Riggins,
What she did.
Let's throw the elephant in the room, because some of what's being said is valid, and some of it is invalid. Here's why: I have seen, you have, so have Ron, where there have been predominantly people of color district, and the people of color still don't vote for the predominant candidate.
Right.
So I think, Ron, from angles of the country, angles mean the corners, that when you look at it, we're just not trusted. And it may be a reason why, because the vast majority or a high percentage of those that look like you get in office, they do stuff to mess it up.
Hey,
Yeah,
look
they're
what Positive D said. I'm sure folks saw that she didn't care about all her voters, but she left them all standing there when she lost. Now, let me tell you what happened, Positive D. This is part of the problem. She should have struck out on her own to fight. She tried to wait for Biden to put the behind her to fight to see if the vote was stolen, and Biden didn't want to do it, and then she fell out with Biden. But she should have struck out on her own to fight. She knew
so
something.
she never established.
She knew something was wrong. She could feel something wrong. I just because less people voted than voted in 2020, which was that was a lie.
But again,
So
Riggins,
they were being purged, and so she didn't fight on her own. She waited for Biden to jump up and do it. And Biden said, "No, I'm done. I can't do it. I'm tired. Trump won." And so now she looked at holding the bag and left the voters holding the bag. She should have struck out on her own and says, "I don't want to concede. I want to go. I want to take this to somewhere."
Yeah, she was locked into an agenda that she didn't have no control over, because she couldn't throw Biden up under the bus. Well, she could have, but she didn't.
Right.
And that's the thing. That's the thing that probably killed her more than anything else, was because she didn't want to let go Biden's agenda, and she could have established her own agenda, but she never got to do it. She never came out against Biden. Every time they asked her a question, she fell in line with whatever the question was being asked of her. She never changed anything. Everybody knew the narrative. I mean, it was coming out every which way, everywhere. People were writing books about what was going on in the White House at that time. You can't hide, and don't expect don't think that people gonna let you hide behind that truth now. So I'm just saying, it's not from emotion, not from vibes, it's not from Twitter, it's not from the moves on the map. And the moment she walked into that race, she knew that she was in for a battle.
Yeah, she raised $1 billion and lost, or got cheated. But then when she got cheated, that's how I'm gonna put it. And when she got cheated, she let Biden sit there and let her take it. She should have said, "No, I'm not taking this."
D says no. there was no excuse for leaving the voters standing there after they waited all day for her. Please don't make excuses for that. And those little things are things that add up. See, people think that they forget what you did. They want you to just throw it behind you like it didn't happen, or it's almost like having amnesia. Yeah, you see me out here. I'm coming out here. She's going to the areas right now, like she's running for office again. But people remember Byron. I can't forget. You can't forget what she did, how she established herself. You got to stand up and say, "Hey, I'm here."
Hey, I want to talk with D right now. I know she's not calling in, but I want to talk to her through this thing. D, what if she would have tried to strike out to fight, and then she lose the whole Democratic machine from behind her, which means that she would never have another chance again if they wouldn't. Say she struck out to fight and say they cheated. And and nobody came to really help her, or they tried to process, and at the end, just like they did with Al Gore and Bush at the end, the Supreme Court says no, we're gonna give it to Trump anyway, and then she cut off the people that she was trying to work with. I'm thinking she was, since Biden didn't want to jump up for her, she just laid down. You know what I'm trying to say?
But Riggins, Biden ain't have nothing to do with it. This was her election.
I understand that, but he was also president of the United States.
Right.
His Justice Department, his election, all that stuff he had the leverage to do to say we're going to investigate it. He had the power to do all that, not her.
But the point is, like Ron is saying, you can't excuse all of the stuff that she did from the negative standpoint and forget about it and say, oh, okay, we're just going to let you be anointed as the golden child when you created these issues for yourself.
No, I'm saying, but he's talking about after the election.
Right, I know.
She laid down and didn't fight for the election. And I'm telling her, if Biden's president, if the Republican had been president of the United States, she had nobody to fight for her. Biden's supposed to be able to go fight for her. He still was president of the United States.
But see, I'm gonna throw another narrative in there because we're on this thing. But I want to throw another narrative in there, Byron. Just check this out for a minute. Just hypothetically, what if Biden just selected her to throw a kink in everything else that the Democratic Party had going on at that time? What if he just, they was throwing him under the bus, Nancy Pelosi, Obama, and that group that's out there, everybody else is throwing him under the bus. What if he just threw her name in there to throw a kink in anybody else that was running because they wasn't supporting him? They was telling him to sit down. Somebody, anybody.
I think he genuinely thought he wanted her to win. I think he genuinely wanted her to win. I don't think he just doing that just for. Because remember, also she was great friends with his dead son. Because he always talked about his son should have ran, not him. His son died early. I think he genuinely wanted her to win, but he didn't know how to. He was washed up. Biden was washed up. He was washed up. He didn't know how to do what he was doing. He was washed up.
I think Biden was washed up, but I think the bigger part of being washed up, he was incompetent at that particular point in time. Right. You had other people behind the scenes that got used to that power and making decisions for him that they didn't want to let go. That's the reason why he ended up in the position, because I think the Biden that we knew over the years, would have stepped down and say, you know what? I'm not doing it. But he wasn't mentally capable of making that decision at that time. So somebody behind the scenes was making it, and they just as guilty as if it was Biden, but they're more guilty than anything because they became power hungry, not just Biden. So I can't follow that logic because
so what you're saying is he didn't throw in there just to do it. Somebody behind the scenes might throw in there. Not Biden.
No. I'm gonna tell you what they did. They found out that Biden, and this is hypothetical. I'm not saying that this is fact. They found out that Biden was in trouble after that debate. They found out that Biden was in trouble after the debate, and everything that they did after then, they couldn't take back. They threw her out there, and when they threw her out there, they had her under the guise, and I could be wrong. This is an assumption on my part, and I want to make sure I clarify that. They threw her out there and say, "Don't if we select you as the vice president candidate, you can't say nothing against Biden because that's the only way it makes sense of what she did after the race because she never stood on any other agenda other than Biden's agenda."
Well, that's why I'm telling D. I'm telling D that her hands were tied. I'm saying what you're saying in a different way.
Yeah, I agree with you, but what I'm saying is that they tied her hands.
They tied her hands.
Biden administration,
Kamala Harris. That's why she wrote the book. I think she wrote the book to try to clear the air. This is what happened. I would have done it this way, but this is what happened. I think she wrote the book to try to clear the air. That listen, this is what they did to me.
But she didn't clear the air. But she didn't clear the air, Riggin.
She could have cleared the air after they gave her the nomination and said, "Hey, to hell with y'all." But then,
after everything was over with, she wrote the book to try to clear the air.
So let me tell you what would have happened. I'm sorry, but I just want to tell you what would have happened if she cleared the air after they gave her the nomination and she was out there running. They then could have came back and destroyed her whole position in which she was standing, because they could have said, "Well, you knew too."
Yeah.
You knew too. Don't throw Biden up under the bus. You knew it too.
Yeah.
So she was kind of in a situation that she couldn't come out of.
Politics is dirty work, man. I'm telling y'all. I've been saying this. That's why I told Barron why they want to run. Politics is dirty work.
I can understand it, but I'm just telling you. The more I dig into Barron, I'm getting.
You want to help the people out. To be a politician to help the people out is great, but to get into the office, the whole mess behind getting in the office, what you're dealing with, all the back stuff behind being in office is dirty.
But Riggins, I disagree with that because here's why. The person that's in office now, he runs on his own terms. He loses on his own terms. She had the same viability to do the same thing. So we can't blame it. If she wanted to take her stance and put her foot in the imprint, then she could have done that, but she chose not to.
But the man run on his own terms, making it on his own terms, you saying he's worse than the devil too, right?
Right. Yeah, but my point is that if you're gonna lose on your own terms, not somebody else's.
Now on paper, y'all remember us having this discussion. On paper, compared to Trump, she was a way better candidate. She had more qualifications. She did more in government than he ever did. She had somewhat of a following behind her. She just looked like the perfect candidate going into that election almost. But she packed some baggage with her.
That's incorrect because remember, Barack didn't come out for her. The only ones who came out for her was the Clintons.
Good point.
And a lot of people knew that she was not the best candidate. That's why you guys said it in the past that had she gone through the proper vetting in the primary, it would have been a different outcome. That's what I believe.
Also, let me tell you something else, though. Let's go back to Barron saying Trump on his own terms. Kamala Harris is a career politician. Trump is a career criminal that came and ran to be president of the United States.
And he won.
He won. Because you know why? Because America has got to the point where they didn't trust politicians no more. Well,
but Riggins, we also know that the Democrats did not have a message that was clear to the voter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But we also know that each time Trump won, he cheated.
Well, I mean, that ain't never been proven.
Oh, man, he had the Mueller report. You see how Trump said he glad Mueller died? He know the Mueller report.
Take that one, Glass. We got one out there. Can you read it?
I can't. Riggins can read it.
Don't be sleep. 1646. I don't know what it is. She only had like 100 days, though. Biden put the Democrats in a lose-lose situation.
There's some truth to that.
True. 90 days. It was 90 days, wasn't 100 days. 90 days, 97 days. And
she had unlimited funds at her disposal at that time. I don't understand it. You brought it up, so I'm gonna go back here. Nobody tried to make her into James Tallarico at that time. She was running against a candidate that didn't have anything, that shouldn't have anything going for him. 34 count convicted felon, a known pedophile. If anything, it shows us that the country is what, Byron?
But he had a message, even though it was a lie. The Dems didn't have a message. They was dealing with all this other stuff, Riggins, that we've talked about in the past, that did nothing to address a man's pocket, did nothing to address jobs, did nothing to address affordability and all of those things. The message wasn't clear.
Right. Yeah, she had one message: I'm gonna prosecute Trump, but it wasn't a message for the people.
Folk ain't want to hear that.
They didn't want to hear that. They didn't hear about that. Trump was already been prosecuted. He was already a criminal. You don't need to prosecute him. What you gonna do for me? Is what Brian Barron said.
And she didn't have a agenda after day one. So if she prosecuted Trump on day one, what was she doing next?
Well, and Ron, in fairness, maybe she had an agenda. She just didn't put it out there.
She tried to say some agenda, but that was the subtitle. The agenda was like, you go to college, you have a major and a minor. Her agenda was the minor, and a major was Trump. She should have flipped that thing. Her
so you think she said,
major, and Trump should have been the minor.
So you think she said what she thought the people wanted to hear, what everybody was giving her advice of what people want to hear. Right. But we both know, and anybody that listened to the election knew that wasn't it. I mean, unless you was in that hall, you had people disagreeing with her on social media and everywhere else, saying that, she wasn't a viable candidate. They wasn't going to vote for her. And in the end, it showed up. Byron, it was right there in front of our face.
So getting back to the topic, should she run?
She should run in the primary, and they whip in the primary, she done.
She should run in the primary. We got to
put on primary this time. Let her go ahead and waste some money or whatever, her time. If you, let her go out there and do it. And then if you lose the primary, sayonara. Thank you. You did a great job as vice president. As whatever, all the stuff you did. You're a great African American woman. Go give you some type of public forum somewhere, some private funding. Well, you've done running the primary. And if you lose the primary, you're done.
You said something right there, and I agree with you. But here's what she's doing right now. Kamala's not sitting still. She's not waiting for permission to run.
I know.
She's not waiting for the party to decide if she's gonna run. She's already moving like somebody preparing for the 28th election right now.
You know why? Because she hear people hollering about Gavin Newsom. Hear people hollering about Mark Kelly. She hear all that noise out there, so she knows she got to get a head start. She's already behind the 8 ball.
Don't forget.
In other words, because of what happened last time, because she's African American, because she's a woman, she got to do triple time more than those guys out there. So she trying to get out ahead of them.
It's a lot of things that's out on the board. Yeah, I agree with you, Pastor. You said a lot of stuff, but she's active in the early states like North Carolina, South Carolina. In that area, she's active because that's where the election process. She's visible on a book tour, so she thinks that she's more viable just because she booked. She declined a 2026 run for governor. Yeah. Every one of those moves points to one direction. She's positioning herself. She ain't announced it yet, but she's positioning herself
for president. Let me show the monthly record in the show right now.
You got Andy Beshear from the state of Kentucky. You got.
You want me to bring it up now, Glass?
You got Newsom from the state of California. You got Shapiro from the state of Philadelphia. So it's not about the activity; it's about the viability to become elected.
This verse right here, "Don't be sleep." 1646. Hey, whoever this person is, they be studying their stuff too. So we got to listen. Okay, listen. Whoa, she had an agenda. She's about building 3 million homes before the end of the term. We were down payment for homes, then it comes for price gouging. She did have that. I heard all that stuff. But every time in that speech, she was saying all that stuff in the speech, but the loudest part of the speech was, I'm gonna prosecute Trump.
Right. And they didn't want to hear that.
And so that was the loudest part of the speech. She was kept saying all this stuff. Now I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench in the whole show. I don't care who running in 2028. If we don't win in 2026, there won't be a 2028 election. I'm telling y'all the truth, nothing but the truth. Y'all know that. If we don't take the House and the Senate, and Trump gonna try to be a dictator, he's gonna try to hold out the election. He's gonna say martial law. He's gonna say we're in a war. He's gonna say all kinds of stuff. There will not be a 2028 election if we don't win 2026.
You know, I can agree with you if we don't take the House and Senate. Let me just say, if we don't take the House or the Senate, we doom. But somehow we got to put the right candidates in place. We got to do that. If we can't do that, there's something wrong with us.
See what's going on right now, though. All the special elections, all the elections for state legislature, everything, ever since this year started, not one Republican has won. Democrats have won in Trump's district and all Republican districts everywhere. There's a blue wave coming, a tsunami.
Rick, I ain't ready to
bearing glass. I'm telling you.
I ain't ready to say that yet, man.
No.
But I'm telling you the facts of what happened. Okay, let me take the blue wave tsunami off of that. Let me just tell you the facts.
Hold on.
The Republicans have not won nothing.
You telling the facts on those elections. But at the end of the day, when you look at the polls, this man is still got a grip. So the question is the grip too far infiltrated to where it doesn't make a difference? See, you got to remember, he's been building for 10 years while everybody else been playing checkers. They've been playing chess. The courts is where it's at. You go to court, you appeal it. It gets to where it needs to be with the Supreme Court. We ain't got no chance in the water right now.
Have you seen how he's losing? Have you seen his numbers in the polls?
Yes. But I also see people still on the loudspeaker following this man.
Another thing that you got to consider, Pastor, you know, they're good at deceiving, telling you, oh yeah, you got it, you got everything locked up. It's already there. We just went through one of those races right here in Texas that you brought up. Everybody thought she had it. This was a guy that was a school teacher.
Bear, Ron, I didn't think she had it. I saw Tarico's commercial the whole time. I watched the commercial all the time. I didn't think she had it. I was hoping she win it, but I didn't think she had it. I was watching commercials.
I'm trying to still. I don't want you to get into it, but I could debate that, but I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go for the sake of the show.
Like Joe Scarborough, people who've been in the Congress before, people who've been political for a long time in the politics, reading the tea leaves. Like they knew when the red wave was coming, when Obama was there. They knew when the blue wave was coming the first time when Trump was there, and they took back the House that time. They're seeing this. This is craziness. I know that y'all thinking, okay, I don't want us to get at ease in Zion. Don't use that in church language. Mm-hmm. But I believe that this is the last grasp to keep the democracy, and people sense that. And they're gonna come out and they're gonna flip this House and Senate. They say even Graham is losing in South Carolina right now.
But Riggins, remember, they can tell you what you want to hear. They've said that Graham was going to lose every time. They've said that John Cornyn was going to lose every time. These people, somehow, they're war chess. They do what they have to do by playing chess while everybody else playing checkers.
So you don't think let me clarify with Blast. Let me clarify with Blast.
That we're going to lose in November?
Say what now?
You think we're going to lose in November?
I think there's a great chance that because again, where's the Dems' message?
Let me clarify what Glass is saying. When he's saying that, you know what he's actually saying? It's PACs and super PACs that manipulate the vote throughout the whole process. Yeah. Democrats and Republicans use them.
I know.
So don't be misled. It's people walking around the White House and the Senate right now that's telling people how to vote, the message that they want to put out. So don't be misled thinking that your vote is out there. Your vote is out.
We're gonna the whole summer. I keep saying, if y'all believe what y'all saying,
but Pastor, you gotta
be focused on putting the pedal to the gas. And come November, after the election, if the Dems flip and we win, Y'all brothers gonna have to owe me some kind of food.
No. Riggins, again, I'm looking at the reality. What I've said from day one of November last year, and I've been consistent. I said that in 2026, if those who do not like what's going on, no matter what color you are, no matter where you come from, because it ain't about Dem versus Republican. It's about the soul of democracy being preserved. So what you got to do is you got to bring somebody in, no matter who it is, anybody but, to change the trajectory that's going on now. And then you can kind of get a better foundation. Because, see, going back and doing all this prosecution and all that, man, people are, I wish they could do it, but people are, they're burnt out on that. I want to know what's going to help me now that I have to drive my little SLK 6-cylinder, put $20 worth of gas in there to buy a regular unleaded, because I don't want to continue to buy $4.69 for super unleaded that have changed in the last 2 or 3 weeks. We already know what this man doing. I want somebody to get in and talk about some policies. I want to talk about some policies that's going to impact people on the day-to-day course of their life. Because if you look at it, teachers can't afford nothing now, Rick. People with just a regular job that used to be a profession, they'll no longer. Look at nurses. Look at teachers. Look at firemen. Look at police officers. You know.
So guess what? Based on that, they know who done it to them. This is why. Let me tell you, the country right now is a third Democrats, a third Republican, and third Independents. The Independents have revolted against Trump.
What about people that's not voting? If you calling on all
no, I'm talking about the voting population. A third of Independent, a third Republican, and third Democrat. And those Independents have revolted against Trump, which means they're coming on the Democratic side. To revolt against Trump means you're going to vote to try to put somebody else to put a stop to him.
Riggins,
I believe it that way. Yes, sir.
Do you want to hear a message about somebody who changed their sex to play volleyball or football or basketball with girls or boys, or do you want to hear about policies?
I want to hear about policies. That's what they need to be doing. But the policies have to be on the war in Iran. It's unconstitutional. The policy got to be on what you're talking about, the economy, affordability, which the Democrats will start to.
Let me get some comments in here, Pastor. I agree with you. D says, Glass, I totally agree with you. Positively D came back, yes, Glass, on what you said. And our new guest to the show, she came in, she announced that she was here. She said, hello, panel, how you doing? But she also said, I believe we will take the Congress on both sides. And same thing that you're saying, Pastor.
And I'm hoping that that's the case. But in order for that to happen, we have to have somewhat of a message that that dignifies or signifies that you're going to go in and you're going to do something, even if it's one policy that comes in and change what's going on now. What I'm saying is the message has to be clear. It has to be energizing to get people up, out, and vote. Because remember, the hot dogs and the fish fries and all that stuff, Riggins, they don't know work. And I've always said this for the last 10 years. The normal is no longer the norm. We don't know what the norm is. So what I'm saying is, Riggins, and you've agreed with this before, we're going to have to get out in record numbers and vote so no cheating will even have an effect on this.
Right. But what I'm saying, though, if you go back and look what's been going on this whole year, go to every race that's been happening so far this year, a Democrat versus Republican. They've come out in record numbers, and the Democrats have won. They're saying they're doing what you're saying, Barry. They're doing what you're saying because
here's the message. Go ahead.
Even if fear motivating them, they're doing it.
Riggins, if that was the case, why didn't that happen for Crockett versus Tallarico?
No, that's within the. Wait. Let me say it again. I said everywhere Democrat versus Republican. See, that was within the Democrat Party. Not Crockett versus
that was a Democrat versus a Republican.
No, that wasn't. Something have them behind their name. I'm talking about everywhere, every race they have right now. See, y'all playing, man. I'm serious. I'm serious. Everywhere, look at every race where Democrat, a D versus an R, a D has won. This Tarico and Crockett thing is a Dem versus a Dem.
Hey, Riggins.
Not really.
And all the things.
On the ballot. It was a Dem versus a Dem. I know in your feelings you feel like the Republican Tarico is like a hidden Republican, but on the ballot it was a Dem versus a Dem.
Hey, Riggins.
It may have been a Dem versus a Dem, but it was an M versus a person that was actually representing the Democratic Party. And that M stands for money.
I understand that, but I'm saying for every race that's happened this year, a D versus a R, a D is one.
Riggins.
Okay.
When
Okay,
I
Pastor,
start-
I'm gonna move on. I want to get some comments.
Wait, I wanna hear what
Absolutely,
Glass
Glass. We are
Hey,
suffering.
Ron, but what I want to see is all of those people that look like us. I still see too many of them saying that, hey, Trump is the man.
Yeah.
I haven't heard them say Kamala deserves a chance. So what I'm saying is we got to crawl before we can walk. And by that, I mean, we have to focus on November of 2026. Let that be the first, let that be the leading tone. Riggins, you know what I'm saying with piano.
That's what I'm saying, right.
Let that be the leading tone. But in order for that to be the leading tone, I think there has to be a clear message. There has to be a clear front runner. And I've said this before, November after the election last year, somebody should have been a clear front runner that's out there. We don't see that. Go ahead.
They infighting too much, Glass. They infighting within the party too much because one has this agenda, one has another agenda. Then they ganging up on the people that have a voice.
Riggins,
they have a voice. They don't want them.
Again, where was all of those current elected federal legislators, representative? Where were they at on the sidelines with regards to Jasmine Crockett?
Nowhere. You know who came up at the last minute? Just one came up at the last minute. You know who that was? Kamala Harris. But you know what she did when she came on board after Tallarico won? She switched that thing so fast.
Hey, Riggins, did James Clyburn come to Texas and campaign for her? Okay. I mean, I'm just looking at the facts now. I'm just asking. So
guys, we mixing apples and oranges. I agree with everything y'all saying. A Dem within a Dem race, that was a Dem within a Dem race. It's done now. I'm talking about Dem versus R. Democrat versus Republican.
I'm gonna let you have that, Pastor. I'm gonna let you have that because I can see that you're not getting past that point. But it is something when it's a D versus a D, and they pop one D up higher than the other one. But you can have your argument. You're right. It's Dem versus R. So we're gonna move on. Let's start taking some of these comments. No, Glass. Who cares about that? We need policy. You know what? I agree with you, D. But here's the thing that everybody's suffering right now. The prices are high. Everybody's taking that hit. Glass said it itself. Everybody's taking a hit on every single thing that you touch, from gas to everything else. If the Dems want to get on board with something, what they gonna do to get the prices down? Wait. I'm gonna get some comments and then I'm gonna let y'all comment on that.
Riggins, if Congress is supposed to enact war, why is this man able to do so much relative to the war now single-handedly?
Because the Republicans in control. Y'all, we're all saying the same thing. Watch this. You flip. And Mike Johnson not the Speaker of the House no more, and King Jefferson the Speaker of the House. And we got a majority of maybe like 2/3 of the Congress is Republican, Democrats. Then we say, listen, we then impeach him and put him out for a legal war.
So what shows you that Mike Jefferson, that Haywood, what's his name? Jeffries? King Jefferson is going to do anything than what he's been doing. What shows you that?
Riggins, what was Hakeem Jeffries, the Speaker of the House? Did he go and campaign for Crockett?
No, he made one speech.
The House, though.
Somebody asked him, Glass, in the interview, who was Jasmine Crockett? And he said, yeah, I know Jasmine Crockett. She's down there in the state of Texas. You Google it, you can't find nothing else where King Jefferson came out and supported him. But
you look at Barack. He was out there talking about who? Tallarico. So what I'm saying is, Riggins, is that the party itself, if it's not part of the establishment, they do not want to go with you. Even if you are electable, they would rather you lose than go out and support somebody that's not a part of their establishment.
Okay, so
I'm gonna take some comments right quick.
If Tallarico is part of the establishment, he should win then.
Could you hold your thoughts for just a minute? Let's take some comments. Are they backing up on me?
Go back.
Don't be sleep. 1646 is laughing at everything that's going on.
Well, go back to the other lady. Yes.
Go ahead.
Exactly. They need to be boots on the ground right now. We Democrats are known to fumble the ball.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying. And I'm looking at history. So, the commentator, I mean, the viewer can laugh and do whatever, but, it's one thing to look at facts. It's another thing to look at what you think. I'm not going off of what I think. I'm going off of what I've seen. What I'm saying is I've been elected for 33 years. Okay. So I know a little bit about elections. I've run elections. I've run campaigns. What I'm saying is that in order for you, a person to win, you have to have a nest egg. And that nest egg, with that, you have to have a message. And until the Dems get a clear message, which they don't have right now, that's why you and I are not Democrats in the long. That's why we're independents, because they lost the message. So that's all I'm saying.
But what I'm saying, in this case, the independents as a whole in the country are against Trump right now. Go look at all the polls.
Pastor, I can't disagree with that. I want to get our comments in, then I want to go. I want to get your opinion on some stuff that I'm gonna bring up. The people are getting covered with dirt and trying to dig out of it. That's true.
Put the other comments she had on there before that.
Glass, we are on the same page. I'm gonna go back to it.
Go back to the other comments.
He was too busy getting
APAC money.
You know what you talking about?
Tellerico.
Jeffries.
Jeffries, yeah. Go back to
he didn't want to go against. He didn't want to do anything to go against the establishment. Because remember, we're in America. No matter who you are, it's still somebody over you that's pulling the chain.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna make a comment right here, Pastor. This is directed at you. What committee was Jasmine Crockett sitting on?
I know she was sitting on the committee for that dealt with the one with Jim, that boy Jim from Ohio.
Yeah,
she was sitting on the committee that could have exposed all of this stuff with Jeffrey Epstein.
On the judiciary.
You're right. Yeah, on the judiciary committee. Yeah.
She was partly on the judiciary committee. Then she served on another committee that had authorization that could have exposed everything that was in the Jeffrey Epstein's file. That was one of the main reasons why they wanted to get rid of her. That's another reason. So she had really 4 strikes against her.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying it may not be making sense, but let's go here.
Everything that happens.
Pastor, I want to get through because I know you got to go at a certain time, but I don't want to let our comments disappear. Anybody want to take that?
The Agriculture Committee, she on that too.
Hey, Ron, invite the viewers if they want to call in. I don't know if that's still available because I like to hear some other ideas because none of us are saying that we're right. We're just expressing the views.
Yeah, that's what we do, Glass. Absolutely. Let me see if I got the right number up. Y'all bear with me. Go ahead, Glass. But I want us to comment on this because I want to bring it to the stage. Not that. I'm going to remove that. And I want to add this to the stage. Kamala Harris. This I'm just going to bring some candidates up and I want to get y'all thoughts on them. Kamala Harris is positioning for 2028. Tell me what your thoughts are.
I think she's got a right to position herself just like anybody else.
I think she can run the primary. If she win the primary, she can run. If they beat her in the primary, she's done. That's all I keep saying.
I agree.
Gavin Newsom.
Same thing. Run the primary. He can all day long tweeting back at Trump, tweeting at Trump. So get some likes and all that stuff and all that. Go run.
But Riggins,
if you can win, you win. If you don't, you're done.
What I will say is that if you look at the historical aspect of America, somebody like a Gavin Newsom, I'm not saying necessarily color, I'm just talking about somebody with the likes of him and Beshear out of Kentucky, those people who have won. Beshear, remember, ran in the red state and won not once but twice, hands down. You have to have somebody that's a Dem like Clinton. That's kind of middle.
Like Bill Clinton. Like Bill Clinton.
That's middle. That's what I'm talking about, being electable. So you can't be too far right. You can't be too far left. Because when you're in the middle, Riggins, you gain more independence. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, now let me say something. Make Ron mad. They thought she was too far left. They thought James Rico was in the middle.
That's fair.
See,
I mean,
I'm not saying it
I
was
mean,
right,
everybody
I'm
has
just saying what
opinions. Each
happened.
one of us do. That's a fair opinion, but I don't think that was the case based on the documentation that's out there.
They think her, AOC, and the girl out of Minnesota, that's the from Somalia, they think all of them are too far to the left.
So Riggins,
They think Bernie Sanders too far to the left.
So is that why the Dems didn't come out and support those candidates like Crockett, that they should have been on the sidelines cheerleading for her?
Right. They're too far to the left.
Okay.
Let me just say this, Pastor. I didn't want to go here tonight, but I'm gonna have to go here. You don't come from a small district and get on the national level of a national level candidate that's out there without somebody putting money behind you.
I know, because they thought he was down the middle.
No, they thought that they know that he's gonna follow lockstep. He gonna follow them off the cliff if he had to. That's the reason why you got that money. And so if you want to vote for somebody like that, I don't. I'm tired. Trump ain't never said that he was gonna follow nobody. But we just get involved. Anyway, let me get this out of the way because we got some more candidates to talk about. Woo! Pastor, you're gonna get me fired up again tonight. All right, let's answer her question. I think they're going to groom Tallarico to run for president because the right is running on a Christian national. Let me just.
That have to be down the road, man. He first got to get to the Senate. He first had to win the Senate. That'll be way down the road for
Riggins, but he could win the race and do like Obama 2 years down the road, run for president.
That's right.
So
she's down the road, right?
She's on the run. Whoever the caller, the listener is, she's on to something, and I agree with her wholeheartedly.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm not saying that he can't run for president, but here's what I'll tell you. If he doing it at this level, what do you think he's gonna do when he become president?
He want war chest.
Hey man, but I tell you what though, Ron, it's part of politics. I know you don't like it.
I don't care about politics, Pastor. I'm gonna vote for the person I want to be. I want the person that I vote for. I'm not saying they have to win every election, but it should be on a fair table. If that's the case, we might as well just stop. I ain't gonna say it, but if that's the case, we might as well just stop researching these candidates and just go with whoever they put out there.
Hey, Ron, I'm telling you, this is what's wrong with our whole system. That's how Trump was able to win. It's not fair like it's supposed to be.
But you said something that I want to remind you of. I want to make you aware of what you just said. He can win on a Christian what?
The lady said that, but that's the truth.
He can win on a Christian what?
Christian nationalism stuff.
Isn't that what Trump won on?
That's what they want to do. They want to put somebody who.
But isn't that what Trump ran on the first time?
Like the devil, they want to get somebody who they think would be more true to what they think Christian nationalism is.
But Riggins, why do y'all think y'all missing the point now? You're not missing, you're just not thinking about it. Remember, they ran on the nationalism because of what Obama created when he was in there.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, again, when you got somebody too far right or too far left, in this case, you got somebody too far right, you have to have a candidate that's closer to the middle in order to get the independents to change the trajectory. So what I'm saying is, whoever that candidate is, Kamala, whoever, they have to come they have to come left to center rather than right to center because they're on the left. Right. So they have to be, and I'm talking about the systematic portion of electoral colleges and things.
That's right.
Somebody has to come to the middle. That's all I'm saying. Whoever that is.
Right. And Crockett did come to the middle, Ron. That's what happened.
No, Pastor. She was able to come to the middle, but here's the thing. People love hearing sugar-coated lies instead of the truth. They would rather hear a sugar-coated lie than to hear the truth. What Jasmine Crockett did, and I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna go to the next one up here. But what Jasmine Crockett did, she told you what was on her mind. If that's left or right, it's something wrong. Then she came back and backed it up by facts.
Remember what Barron said that Kamala had no business talking about prosecuting Trump. You know what Jasmine Crocker's commercial was? Trump is scared of me. That's all commercial was all the time. Trump didn't say nothing she's gonna do, but Trump is scared of me. I'm gonna get Trump.
She did say something else. She did say something else. You missed that part. But what she said in addition to that, Trump has pointed me out. That's why I know he's afraid of me. But you missed that part.
But that's the whole point. The point was she focused on Trump and not what she's gonna do for the people.
What I'm saying is,
Raymond said what he's gonna do for teachers. He used to be a teacher. He's gonna do for the middle class. He's gonna do this. He said what the people wanted to hear. She was talking about I'm gonna get Trump.
Good point, Pastor. He said what the people want to hear, not what he can do when he get in office.
That's what you have to run.
Not what he can do when he get in office.
But here's the thing. I think we're losing focus. What I'm saying is this: relative to Crockett, it's one thing to be who you are when you can be who you are. But when you're dealing with voters, people who are unfamiliar with you, you got to come to their level versus the other stuff. What I'm saying is, again, is this: no matter who that candidate is for the Democratic side, they must come to the middle and speak to the independents. They must speak to the independents.
Unless they got somebody named Chuck Rocher on the other side that's running the vote through a PAC or a super PAC. I agree with you. They don't have a chance to come to the middle if it's a super PAC or PAC involved.
Ron, if Jasmine Crocker was a white girl doing that same stuff, would you be excited about voting for her?
If she came with the facts. I don't never remember her not coming with the facts to back up what she was saying. Everybody that I've seen her go up against on the floor or the House, she came back with facts. Can you say she didn't?
Yeah, but when she ran, did she run on fighting Trump or did she run on?
I asked you a question, Pastor. I asked you a question.
She did the facts.
I didn't ask you. You can't ask a question with a question. Can you answer my question? That's all I'm asking.
As a woman, she came with the facts. As a politician running for the next office, she need to leave that part over there and
so she got to tell lies in order to get in the office.
No, don't tell lies. Talk about what you're gonna do for the people. Don't tell lies.
Well, every time she was in the debate, she was in the debate for the people. When she was in the debate on the floor, she was in the debate for the people that she represented. So we're just gonna throw that politics out. We're gonna throw that out the window, right?
No.
Right. I'm sorry,
Pastor. What she was doing
you always get me here.
We're talking about running as the senator. See, there's two things in politics. You govern when you get the position. So as a congresswoman, she was doing a great job. Now to get to the next level as a senator, she need to leave that over there when she's fighting over there in those committees and come out and say what I'm doing to the people as a senator for Texas.
Well, Ron, let me.
You got to chew gum and walk at the same time.
My thing is this: what I have learned over my career of being elected is that when I started out, it was all fire and brimstone. It was all punching. But what I learned over the years as I evolved, sometimes you can get different results by saying it in a different way. It doesn't mean that you're afraid. It doesn't mean that you're backing down, but you have to speak to those people that are listening to you. And in some cases, should Kamala run is the question.
Absolutely. I agree with you. They had to get Jasmine Crockett out of there because she wasn't afraid. I mean, we've been saying that. She never lied.
But Ron,
somebody just reported that. She never lied. Here's the next one. Let me read these comments and then we're gonna let you go, Byron. I heard so many black people on their platforms tearing Jasmine down, and all they did was help run the help away.
Right.
Come on, Glass.
Which is what I was going to say again. I saw more people that looked like me that did not come out for Crockett, mainly those that are her elected colleagues. And my question is, if my colleagues are not supporting me, what message is that sending those who you're asking to vote for her?
Because when you're in the primaries, you're supposed to be on equal field. They wasn't on the equal field.
See, that's our assumption. It's nothing equal about any of this.
Right.
You know,
what happened? even I like Jasmine Crockett. I loved what she was doing. But they thought she was down there in Congress. All those people that were supposed to be behind her, thinking that she was too young, too loud, too brash, too quick. I experienced this as a pastor. Let me tell you what. I started pastoring at 23 years old. I went into meetings where older pastors were in their 60s and 50s arguing and fighting with each other over a bunch of stuff that wasn't even supposed to be arguing and fighting about. I jumped up and started trying to talk about it. They told me to say, listen, you got the right thing to say, but you're the wrong one to say it because you're young. Pay your dues. Yep. Give money for a long time, and then you're going to have the leverage to say what you got to say. Was it right? It was wrong what they were telling me. I got upset about it, but that's how the system is. And that's what they did to Jasmine. I'm just being honest.
That's what the Democratic Party does.
Right.
Am I right, guys?
Right.
All parties do that. That's why Trump came from the outside and when Jeb Bush and all them, he came in there and just acting a fool. All of them like he ain't paid his dues, but he was saying stuff that people wanted to hear because he was not going to follow that system.
Hey, y'all see the comment on the TV, the woman's in her 40s. She's still, I agree with you, but let's do this, Glass. Let's go through this field that's out there with Kamala real quick. Pete Buttigieg, he was the transportation secretary. I'm putting him out there. Either one of y'all can comment on that.
Well, I can tell you right now, I'll go on narrow myself down. I'm looking at Beshear out of Kentucky because of what he's done and how he's been able to overcome the Republican side. And I'm looking at Newsom, which is able and has the ability to get out there, and he's not afraid to fight it. He's viable to people that can get him elected. Because what I'm looking at now is the person that can get rid of what we got now.
Okay. You got anything you want to say on that one, Pastor?
No, Pete Buttigieg ain't gonna make it. Because they don't think he's more to the left because of his lifestyle. And
what about Wes Moore?
It's wrong, but I'm just telling you.
What about Wes Moore?
Kamala got
a guess what? He has a ability to go towards the middle. He's more like closer to Barack Obama that I've seen as an African American candidate. But he has the ability to go towards the middle because he's been down there in Maryland and those areas, and he knows how to fight that kind of fight to bring himself to the middle.
But I think Harris has a better chance than him.
But he is a military hero, well, military person. You know, he fought the wars and all that.
He has a military background.
Yeah.
Josh Shapiro.
He wanted to be a knockoff of Obama, trying to talk like him in speeches and all that kind of stuff. He'll make a good vice president.
Pastor, take this one, or Glass, take this one.
JB Pritzker. No. Pritzker. He's already had some questionable stuff to come up. Some of his way he deal, like that old backstreet Chicago under the table stuff. To be all that back.
But he's no worse than what we got in there now.
I know. Oh, I know. Oh, he'd be better than Trump, but I mean against other Democrats. I'm saying.
I think he's electable.
He is. But I wouldn't put
Andy
Beshear above Gavin Newsom.
Oh,
Andy Beshear.
Yes, sir. Look at what
he's Bill Clinton right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Rick. He's able to come to the middle, and he's won in a full-fledged red state.
Yeah, yes, sir.
So I just want to throw a couple of names out there that were candidates, and I think that we both made. I think that we agree that it's a different field out there, and she would have an uphill battle with either one of them that we just mentioned.
Well, I can tell you this: if the climate was going on today, and there was a primary with all of those candidates that you just named, I think it would be Newsom, Beshear, one or two. I'm not going to put them in order. I think Pritzker out of Chicago would. I think those would be the top three.
Don't forget about Mark Kelly.
I think he would be a good VP.
You'll be a good VP.
Yeah, I like, and I got I'm gonna throw my hat in there too, since y'all gave y'all opinions. I like Wes Moore. I'm gonna be honest.
They'll probably make him a VP.
Wes Moore is
right now. Let me tell you why. You see, when Obama won and won twice,
it was about timing, though, Riggins. It was about timing. Remember,
right. And now the country had this whole big back. That's what the whole big swing pillar with Trump. They felt like, the blacks took it and we want our country back. Then Kamala ran as an African-American woman. I don't know if the country would vote for a black president right now.
And now that's a factual thing based on history. Nothing wrong with that.
So he'll be a good VP to ease them back into that. But it's sad. I'm just being honest. We live in a country that racism has been fully exposed again. It's raw. It's raw to the bone. Because they took all the cover off of it. That boy, that Stephen Miller and them, they took all the cover off.
Like it is, they pull their sheets off.
Yeah, all the sheets off. Heritage Foundation, all off. So
right,
we've got to work our way back into the top position.
Read the comment, Riggins.
Many of the blacks say she. Go ahead, Pastor.
Immigrants, there was a lie. I watch many of the hearings and sticks up for blacks and calls them racist to their face. Who? Jasmine? Are you talking about Jasmine, ma'am?
I'm gonna let her answer that. I'm going to the next one. Come on, Pastor, keep reading.
Positive D, stop with the black and white. But it's true though, positive. D, that's the reality of what we live in. Kamala Harris called everything that's happening now. Yes, she did. She said everything was going to happen, but they didn't want to hear it because they thought she was the wrong messenger. Yes, I like Beshear. Somebody said they like Beshear. Yes, she's talking about that. Mm-hmm.
Hey, on this last 10 minutes or whatever, we got the number flashing across the screen, 346-649-011111. If you'd like to call into the show, we would like to get your opinion on the telephone. If you would like to be a part of the show, we just gonna do what we're doing right now. We try to open it up and it's that time. So I just want to open it up and let you know that if you call in right now, we'll be able to get you on. Glass, tell us about Beshear. I want to hear more about Beshear.
Well, I mean, again, if you look at him, he comes from Mitch McConnell's state, which is a full-fledged red state. He's not only won it once, but he's not won it once. He's won it twice. He's won it by good numbers. He's very likable. He's very, courageous. He's very articulate. He's a Bill Clinton type of guy. And remember, that's how Clinton was able to overcome the Bushes. Because he was able to talk the talk and walk the walk. See, again, it's one thing to punch, but sometimes you can punch in a different manner. And when you're dealing with different, masses and different people, and I'm speaking for myself, again, sometimes you have to observe your audience. If I'm there with Riggins and Ron, I know I can say certain things that's going to measure with you. But if I'm there with Riggins and Ron and some other people that don't really know me, Mama always said, no matter what class of people you in, Riggins, you can always talk in layman's term, right? Mm-hmm. So in order to get those who don't understand or don't know you, you got to talk in those layman terms so those people can get an idea or some type of sensibility of who you are. Again, I'm not discouraging Harris from running. I'm not discouraging that at all. I think she's a qualified candidate. I think Jasmine Crockett is a qualified candidate. But what we know is this, is that in America, qualification sometimes has absolutely nothing to do with it.
Yes, sir. Pastor? Yeah, I agree with everything he's saying. When we talk about layman's term, it's a certain way you teach a middle school class, right? A different way you teach a high school class. It's a certain way I can teach Bible study, a certain way I can preach a sermon, depending on who's in the room. Mm-hmm. And what we talk about right now on these politics, we go to the barbershop, you're not going to talk about it the way we're talking about it, because the people in the barbershop, they have done all the research. They know what they're feeling. They know what they're looking at. And so you didn't change the same concept, but change the language. Mm-hmm. So what Barron is saying is we have a lot of intelligent, very smart, capable people who maybe sometimes can't relate to the voter. But somebody like Beshear can relate to the voters.
And see, Riggins, remember, Barack having both classification of people in him, mm-hmm. he was able to talk to everybody.
Yes.
Okay, and he was in the middle. He wasn't on a loudspeaker. He wasn't talking loud. He was the quiet one in the room, but he was able to articulate his message. Again, sometimes you don't have to punch like this. You can say what you mean and mean what you say, and let everybody get to understand it. It's kind of like the dinner table conversation. When you're talking to your kid, when your kid is 10, you got to talk to them one way. When they're 18, you got to talk to them another different way. You got to be able to judge your audience. Again, I think Crockett's issue is that she could not evaporate from who she was to being relatable to other people. I'm not saying change. I'm not saying be afraid. I'm not saying be scared or nothing. What I'm saying is the delivery of the message. I think is what kind of I think the delivery of a message being too far to the right. I think had she come to the middle, Tallarico wouldn't have been an issue.
She was too far to the left, you mean?
Yeah, too far to the left. I'm sorry. Yeah,
that's all right. Here's another thing.
But educated, qualified, and everything. But to get those that you're trying to get, I think had she been able to do that, Tallarico wouldn't have been an issue. But I agree with Ron. I think every time something happened, and we keep forget that and move on. And I agree with Ron. I think they should pay for it.
Look, this woman says the things that are was it Here they have to search. What is it?
The things that they are doing behind the scenes under
the things that they're doing behind the scenes under this administration is crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah, let me get back to Jim Crow.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I try to take us to.
Even James Clyburn said it.
But here was another thing about Obama I was going to say. Obama had a Harvard degree, went back to Chicago and says, I do not want to work for a big lawyer's firm. He went back and did community organizing.
For who?
He went out to community. That's how he met Jesse Jackson with Bush and all that. Obama. He even did community organizing. Like
for who?
Pro bono. For all the communities of Southside Chicago, for public defenders, all that stuff. That's how he got to.
You think so?
Huh? He did.
You think so?
Man.
So when he got to be president, whose agenda was he on there?
No, I'm saying how he was able to, when Ron he was able to relate to all groups of people, he developed that by being a community organizer.
And who did he help?
Have you read his books, Audacity to Hope, and all that stuff? I read all his books before he ran.
So let me ask you a question, Pastor. Who did he help when he was in office? And who was he? If that's the case, you giving him a broad base to stand on. But he had a defined mission that he stood on.
Let me tell you what.
And he took it to the presidency.
The Big Brothers Club. You ever heard of Big Brothers?
Mm-hmm.
He started that. He was working with African American males like that.
So my next question: how did that translate into him being president?
No, I'm saying after you said going back once he got in office.
But I understand what you're saying. But did he take any of that when he became president?
When he became president, I believe Barack Obama, that's why he won 2 terms, was able to serve the country in a way to help out a lot of people. The biggest thing he brought to the table that was not blocked was Obamacare. Some other things he brought to the table, they tried to strip it or block it, or they moved too slow and they had all 3 parts of government. But the biggest thing was Obamacare. I know he did
LGBTQ had anything to do with it.
What he did at the end, what hurt him was,
I'm just asking
about the elephant in the room is, in the end, he took up for the LGBTQ, and they made him the white Christian nationalists came against him. He was already black, so they had 2 things against him. He was black and he was supporting the LGBTQ. But
he was supporting that mission even when he was in Chicago.
No, he started out, he was not supporting that.
Yeah, when he started, but by the time he got
his kids and that later in the second term, that they had friends like that.
Like I say, Pastor, he started that mission even when he was in Chicago.
Hey, Ron, it sounds like that you don't agree with what Obama was doing.
I'm just saying. He didn't help me or you. He didn't help me or you advance. Did he help you or you advance? Can you name me one thing he did besides healthcare that helped everybody? What did he do for a black person?
I believe Obama created a platform, because remember, once he got
black people,
a lot of African American people came out in the media, a lot of other leadership. I believe he gave the country the right or the okay that black people could be more and more leaders in a lot of other areas. I felt like when he was the president, I had more leverage and power in the community that I would have with Trump president right now.
So let me address this for you. So he did that, and you know what people were saying by the time the election was over, and how Trump really got in office? Because Trump said he didn't want little boys going in girls' restrooms because they say I'm a girl. Trump said he didn't want men going into girls' restrooms saying I identify as a woman. That's one of the reasons. That's one of the main reasons why Trump won.
I said it.
Even in the state of Texas,
Baron, I said in the president, he went into that costume, that cost Clinton. Did I say that?
Yes, sir.
Trump never ran against Obama, but he ran against Obama's agenda.
Wasn't that on Obama's agenda?
Right, that's what I'm saying. At the end of this,
okay.
I said this. I said at the end, Trump did. Now, I do believe that every American citizen should have citizenship rights, no matter what your sexual preferences is. But I should not support or try to champion you if it's not my spiritual beliefs. But I don't believe that.
I want to get these comments in, and then Pastor, I got a question for you.
Okay.
Go ahead, Pastor.
I'm gonna go, and I really enjoyed this conversation. Everyone stay blessed and safe. This is Dare to Search.
Thank you.
She wasn't relatable to everyone. He's talking about Jasmine Crockett. This is Positive B.
Yeah, and that, I can't disagree with that. But the only thing that I see a little girl that we sent to all these different schools. We make all those sacrifices, and then a machine comes in and wipes her out. I don't like that, Pastor, and I'm gonna say that till the day I die. But here's my other question to you. Now, you brag on this man. You say he did all the rest of this stuff, but the person, and disagree with me if you want to, the people that he helped the most when he was in office was the LBGQ community. He gave them a voice. He recognized who they was. He gave them the ability to go into girls' and boys' restroom. And when he did all of that, it hurt his credibility. It's part of the history that he got to carry. And that's the reason why people turned out in droves, because they did not. I saw a lady on the show. She stood up in front of the restroom. This grown man, I almost said something else, dressed in women's clothes, gonna say, "Let me talk to your daughter before, so we can go in there and use the bathroom." She said, "No, you ain't going in there with my daughter. You a man." She's 5'2" and he about 6'6". Talking about he a woman, so he should be able to go in there. She said, "No, my baby got to use the bathroom in there. You ain't going past me. I don't care." So when people stand up and make that point, before we get out of here, I want to say that, but I got to yield because I got co-hosts on tonight. But I'm gonna start with you, Byron Glass. I'm gonna give it to Pastor Riggs. I don't need to say anything else. I'll say it afterwards.
I think valid points, valid appreciations have been issued. I've been reminded that the LGTB community is not near as bad as those who are males that are pedophiles, those who are raping, those who are convicted felons. I think every candidate has things that they have as their pet peeves. That may have been the predecessors. That may have been his agenda. I disagree. I think he should have did some other things, but I'm glad that he was elected. And as a result of him being elected, people said, okay, we need to take our thing back because this person has come in and done what we never wanted to happen. At the end of the day, I think relative to the topic tonight, should Harris run? I think Riggins has spelled it out in a way that I think is fair and equitable to everybody. If there's going to be a primary and all of those candidates get in, may the best man win. And when the best man win, everybody should get behind them. All this book writing shit and all this other stuff about this didn't happen, that didn't, all this crybaby bullshit. I'm tired of hearing that. If you don't have a message, I'm not considering. If you don't have a message to move to the center to tell me how you going to help me with my my electricity bill? How you gonna help me with my mortgage loan? How you gonna help me with gas prices? How you gonna help me now when I go to the store and buy me and my old lady something to eat? 2 burgers is costing me $30. It's nowhere in West Hell that we can afford that when our pay still remains the same. Riggins, I want to help teachers. I want teachers to be on the top of the pedestal rather than being at the bottom, but everybody using and saying, oh yeah, we're going to do this for teachers, but then we have an opportunity to do it. At the end of the day, when the smoke is clear and the dust settles, the Dems, they have an opportunity to win, they have an opportunity to get in, but they have to have a message that comes back closer to left or center. And if they don't, in 2026, if they don't do anything in November, 5 or 6, 7, 8 months from now, we history. We are history.
I piggyback on that. If we don't win in November 2026, there won't be a 2028 election. Not like we think it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So what Barron is saying, we don't need 1 or 2 people. We need in every one of these districts and counties and parishes, boroughs, people coming back to the middle
mm-hmm.
and relate to the people and saying, listen, vote me for congressman, vote me for congresswoman, vote me for senator, so we can take this House and Senate back and put this country back in order. Now, it's going to take a while to get it back in order because it's so messed up, but at least we'll have the foundation of it. So yes, sir.
I can guarantee this, is that the person that Jasmine Crockett is now, wait for the comeback, and everything that she has wanted to achieve, she's going to be able to achieve it. Because, see, we all have to go through this learning phase. We all have to go through this learning process. I guarantee you, she is saying to herself now that there were some things that she could have, done differently. Tallarico, he did come in, run according to the way the system is set up and designed. He stole it from her. He stole it from her. He stole it from her. But that's what we're dealing with. At the end of the day, we got to get rid of this ruthless mafia mobster that's sitting there violating every aspect of the law. It's Riggins, you're right. The way we think an election will be, if we don't get in 2026, it won't be a 2028.
Yes, sir. It won't be one.
Let me just say this with my prompt that's up there. Elections shouldn't be won on money. Elections should be won on your ability to do what you say and follow through with it. Elections, anytime that we get into elections being ran on money, we're doomed as a nation, whether it's Jasmine Crockett or anybody else.
That's the way it runs. It's even worse now. When Citizen United was passed, that's when elections as we knew it went out the window.
I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you in any kind of way, but that's what we're dealing with as a nation. We're dealing with people with money coming in, throwing money. And the killer part about it is that the candidate may not even know who they are.
Yeah.
Right.
And they running these negative ads on the other person. But if we're DDs on one side, what I should be able to do to say to that organization, look, she's a Democrat like me. Don't attack her. Don't attack her. Wait, let me say it, Pastor. I know you say something, but let me finish, Pastor. If I'm the Christian that I say I am, that's what I'm gonna do.
See, that's why
you gotta hold him accountable. You gotta hold him accountable for the words that's coming out of his mouth. I didn't say he was a Christian. He said he was a Christian. So if that's your agenda and you want to be Christ-like, what you got to do is follow Christ and say, turn over a couple of tables and say, I didn't want them to run the ad on you. If I'm wrong, I stand corrected. But Pastor, I'm giving it back to you. Glass, if you got some comments you want to make, go ahead. Pastor, I'm giving it back to you.
Get us out of here. Part of the reason why they run for office because I know it's muddied up like that. Second thing of it is, if he would have did that, it might even help him more because they said, look how he's such a champion to fight for her cause.
And I would have voted for him.
Okay. Now I like that part. I understand. But this is what we deal with, man. The system is rigged already. We just got to vote. We got to vote through that. That's why we're all independents, because we don't like the system. Guys, this is what we call Holy Week this week. And there's a lot of unholy stuff going on in the United States. Let me say something. And the sad thing about it, evangelical Christians are part in it with it. but they're calling on Jesus' name, and they're behind Israel fighting Iran and all this stuff. But I digress.
Take us out, Pastor.
I'm going to say something that a lot of people don't like to hear. Jesus was not crucified on a Friday. He's crucified on a Thursday. But religion will tell you that because it fits a Good Friday ideal that the good old Roman Catholic Church came up with. But the Bible started in Egypt, in Africa, not in Rome. I just throw that in there for you.
Hey, we're here to enlighten and inform, bro.
Yes, sir. In the enlighten and inform. But the good thing about it, before we get back on here next Tuesday, we're going to celebrate he got up. He got up with all power. Hey, tonight, we leave this platform without his presence. Tomorrow, I'll be teaching from the book of Matthew at 7 o'clock p.m. Come onto my page, Aquila for Nail Riggins, our Bible study. If you're in town on Friday night, run. If you're in town, I got 6 other preachers going to join me at 6555 Mesa Drive for the 7 last sayings of Jesus Christ. 7 p.m. with Johnny B. Williams, gospel recording artist who's our praise and worship leader, going to be in there too. So I'm going to send you a flyer run. You got to come check it out. These boys can throw down. Father, we thank you for the opportunity to share, debate, discuss, have a discourse about what we're dealing with in our community, our city, and our world, in politics, and everything that relates to us trying to be good citizens. I thank you for my brothers, Ron and Barry. We want to impact our community, our city, our world. We leave this platform without your presence. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Let me tell you what I'm doing tomorrow, and you two gentlemen don't even know it either. I got a part 1 series that I'm doing of the Epstein files because I'm taking it back because before this war, it was all about Epstein. And I'm going to show you how we got here. Part 2, I'm going to tell you how they disguised everything, how they went through the whole process and the lies that was told and how they covered up the truth in so many ways. One of the things that they did, and I'm just going to share this nugget with you, is that they gave amnesty to the people that actually did the crime. They didn't give amnesty to the victims of the crime. And it's been out there. I said this before. It's been out there. So we're going back to Epstein tomorrow.
I think Epstein was alive on an island somewhere.
Huh?
I believe Epstein was alive on an island somewhere. He ain't dead.
I believe it too, because there's too many lies that's being told, too many governments that's involved, too many people that he had in his hip pocket. And I can't, Pastor, I have to go with you on that, but we're going to get out of here tonight, Glass. Give me my sign so I can go. We got the deuces. I want to say thank God for giving us the ability to do this as long as we have. We've been here for a while. You may not hear what we talk about on any other broadcast system that's out there, but we ain't wasting our time over here. We're doing something different. We're out of here. Y'all take care. Good night. And I hope you enjoyed the show, and I hope you was informed.